This is question number 4 on page 237. Question number 4 on page 237. We have a pail of water, probably the one that Jack and Jill ran up the hill to fetch. And this pail weighs 4 kilograms. And the well here is 1.3 meters across, and it's 1.9 meters high. And the question asks, I'm going to read the question. Forces can also be applied by compressing or tensing a rigid object such as a beam. 2 beams support a 4 kilogram pail of water above open well, as shown in figure 713. How much compression force is exerted on each beam by the water pail? What outward force do the 2 beams exert on the well's wall? And what additional vertical compression is exerted on the bricks under the beams? Holy moly.
This isn't going to be on the test, is it?
How much compression force is exerted on each beam by the water pail? What they're saying is, compression is simply the opposite of compression. And in fact, if you're going into engineering, there's a whole course on stuff like this. Yes. Okay? So compression is how much, not tension, but how much pushing is there. Okay? So now that is caused by this 4 kilograms straight down. I hope you get the idea that I gotta find the weight force, right? Like I gotta convert 4 kilograms to newtons. So that's step 1. So that's going to be 4 times 9.8. And I'm going to need your calculator, or my calculator, Jess.
Mine.
Is it mine?
No, it's mine.
Is it?
Yours.
So I got 39.2. 39.2 newtons is straight down. Okay. It's negative, it's down, but I'm only going to choose to add directions when needed. Okay? When it's needed. Okay. So now if this beam was straight up and down, then it would be 39.2 newtons, but it's not, right? It's at an angle. And the greater that angle, the more there's going to be, right? Just like tension. So I really have to figure out what angle we're talking about here, don't I? Right? How am I going to figure out what angle this beam is at? Well, they've given you the distance across, and they've given you the 1.9. Which angle do I want? I don't know. Probably this one at the bottom here, I'm thinking. Shall we go with that one? That one? You want this one?
No.
This one?
No.
This one?
No. No.
Which one? Here? This. Okay, how am I going to find that? I'm going to have to make a triangle, right? It's 1.9 up. If it's 1.3 all the way across, then halfway is going to be 0.65, right? Half of that? If all the way across is 1.3, then halfway is going to be 0.65. So that's going to give me, that's going to be my adjacent. My 1.9 is my opposite, so it's going to be a tan thing, isn't it, right? So theta is going to equal the inverse tan of opposite 1.9 over adjacent 0.65.
Oh, Mr. Ben.
He's getting angry.
Yeah. When the physics teacher starts throwing calculators around. Then... Okay, second function tan, 1.9 divided by 0.65, 71.1. Ooh, that's pretty steep. 71.1 degrees. Okay, so now, if I redraw the triangle, let me just get rid of the bottom part of the well here. If I redraw the triangle, but now with forces, right? So I've got my 71 degrees in there. The force down on the beam has to be 39.2, right? So how much force is there here on the hypotenuse? I've got opposite. I want to know hypotenuse. So it's going to be a sine thing. Sine of 71.1 is opposite 39.2 all over my hypotenuse, which is my f. So in other words, all I'm doing is taking 39.2 and I'm dividing by sine of 71.1. And I should get more. I get 41.4 newtons. That's my answer. My final answer, Regis. The answer is 20.7. What did I do wrong? because there's two beams, I actually only need half, right? 39.2, this beam only has to encounter or take care of 39.2 divided by 2 newtons. So really, what I should probably do is, I'll put a times by 0.5 in there. How's that? Should have caught that. I'm mad at myself. $20.7. Is that what I said the answer was when I read it?
Mm-mm.
20.7. All right. So that's how much compression there is in the beam. What outward force do the two beams exert on the well's wall? So they're actually pushing out as well, but what they're really asking you for is the horizontal component. They're asking you to find this thing down here, which is relatively easy, right? It's just opposite, adjacent. It's going to be tan, right? Tan of 71.1 is equal to opposite 39.2 all over I'll call it the horizontal component. Oh, it's not 39.2 though, is it? Times by 0.5. $20.7. Oh, I did sign, that's why. .7 newtons. Did I get that right? Anybody look it up? The last one is, what additional vertical compression is exerted on the bricks under the beams? I think C should be the first question, because all they're really asking for there is, what's that vertical component? It's 39.2 divided by 2, because there's only the two of them, right? So what's that? 19, is it 18.6? $19.6. Oh yeah, 19.6. That should be the first question. Does that make sense? Kind of? Like really, it's just the same kind of question as a tension, except it's pushing instead of pulling.
Is there going to be one like that on the test?
Probably not that complicated. But I mean, I would consider tension and compression to be the same kind of question.
Can you do the first one?
You want me to do the first one? A guy wire with a tension of 1 times 10 to the 4 newtons and an angle of 60 degrees from the ground is attached to the top of a pole, as shown in figure 711. What are the horizontal and vertical components of the force exerted by the wire at the top of the pole in order to maintain the system in static equilibrium? All they're really saying there, Darren, is what are the horizontal and vertical components? This is 1 times 10 to the 4. This is 60 degrees. And all they're asking you for is tension horizontal and tension vertical. That's all they're asking for. Right? That's going to be sine. Sine 60 is going to be tension vertical over 1 times 10 to the 4. And then the other one's going to be cosine 60 is adjacent. TH over 1 times 10 to the 4. You just find the components there. This one is 8660 newtons, and the other one is 5,000 newtons. So in other words, this pole is being pulled down with 8,660 newtons, and it's being pulled sideways with 5,000 newtons. There you go.